My life without open source would not even close to be the same. I get to travel around the world to conferences. I've met so many great people. Practically all the job opportunities I've gotten have been because of my open source work and because of people I've met through open source or because of people that have known me through open source. So really my entire career is based on my open source work. Do you want me to start with hi or anything, or do you want me to just flat out go? I'm Max Stoiber. I work at GitHub currently, and I'm a React developer. I'm most widely known for making styled components and React boilerplate to fairly popular open source projects in the React ecosystem. The reason I got into specialty coffee is because of two friends of mine. I wanted to be cool like them, basically. And so I thought, why don't I get into coffee? And so when I did my first internship in London, I actually looked up coffee schools and I went to courses to learn about coffee making. And it's not even about being cool anymore. I just really like coffee. And I enjoy making it as well, for myself, but also for other people. My passion for open source is really more of a way of thinking and working. I've just always worked in the open. To me, it was obvious that I would try to put things out there. It's been 5 years that I've been practicing this literally every morning. The way React boilerplate came about, for example, was because I actually needed a solution to that problem. I actually needed a boilerplate that I would reuse for different projects. That's why I built it in the first place for myself. And to me, it was just obvious that I might as well just make it open source, right? Whether anybody else uses it or not doesn't really matter to me because I have the solution for the next time that I have the same problem. So the worst case scenario is already pretty good. You don't have to solve the same problem again that you did already. You can just reuse your existing solution. But in the best case scenario, other people start using your project and your career actually gets advanced a whole lot because those people now know who you are and how you work and what you work on. It's sort of like betting on stocks, except in the worst case scenario, you don't lose any money, you just go back to square one, right? It's a no risk, high reward kind of thing, right? Like I don't see why you wouldn't do it. I went to university 2 times. I started once, didn't like it, dropped out. I started again because I thought I do need to study. And I went to university, but I was working on just my own little React projects, my own little apps, and I was working on React boilerplate. And it felt like what I learned at university didn't really help me in that regard. I learned about binary numbers and complex math and database modeling, stuff which I really didn't care about at the time, and that's mostly why I dropped out. It's because it just didn't feel practical enough for me to be useful. My parents were pretty disappointed the first time. They were very disappointed the second time because they thought I'd realized that I do need to go to university, and that's why I went back. And so when I left again, they were even more disappointed because they were like, oh, why didn't you just go to university? And then React boilerplate blew up. It became really popular, and suddenly I was going to conferences, traveling around the world, and got lots of invitations to speak on podcasts and stuff. Hi. Ich nehme ein Flat White. Hallo.
Nice live.
Wie geht's? Gut. Wie geht's? Alles gut? Gut.
Max's fame is solely based on Manfred Stoiber.
Yeah,
his
I think
dad.
so too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
The thing is, when he started tweeting, his dad always retweeted things and wrote replies.
He actually wrote me on Twitter, hey, I live in Vienna, I'm also interested in front-end development stuff. He was like 20 followers on Twitter or something. Eh? I was so humbled, like someone reached out to me on Twitter and he wanted to meet. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go for a coffee. And I proposed the place here. So we met here at Kaffeemik. Like I figured out, okay, he's interested in coffee, so he's like coffee snob and all the things I am. And then he was like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, I'm all interested in front end. I have no idea how it all works, but I'm just started trying things out. And then like 2 years later, I don't know, like 8,000 followers, and like every conferences in Europe, US, and like even right now, I still can't believe it's like it happened so fast.
I created React Boilerplate because I made lots of projects in React, and I realized I was doing the same setup work every time. And so I just took the base setup and I pushed it up to GitHub. Again, for myself to use, so I wouldn't have to do it over and over and over again. And nothing really happened with it. I kept making it better for the next project and then making it better for the project after that, and then just kept improving it.
Yeah.
We were on our annual skiing holiday because we go skiing every Christmas as a family. And I wake up in the morning and I check my emails and I check Twitter and I check GitHub. And I look at GitHub and I realize, oh, React Boilerplate has gone from 70 stars to 500 overnight. And I had no idea why. It just happened suddenly. And I was super excited, of course, and there's actually a tweet by me from that time where I asked, does anybody know what's going on? And somebody replied 2 hours later saying, it's on the front page of Hacker News. And I said, cool, what's Hacker News? But it's actually funny because my dad saw how excited I was about the stars and how I just constantly kept checking my phone and answering people, that he actually got me some GitHub merch, some swag from the GitHub store for my birthday 2 weeks after. And so I got like a GitHub shirt and some stickers from him because he was like, this is apparently what my son likes. And I don't think he really understood what that meant. I don't think he really got GitHub yet, but he was just excited to see his son be excited, right? And so he got me a t-shirt and some stickers, I think. Yeah, that was really the turning point. When they realized that it meant that I could suddenly travel to conferences and that I was suddenly sort of a well-known person in this community, they started being very supportive and sort of pushing me to go further and do more things and that kind of thing. It's just, of course, as a parent, you only want the best for your child, and for them, university was sort of the ultimate goal, right? Like they wanted me to have a good education and a degree. Just turned out that wasn't my path.
Max was writing a program in the internet, open source, and we asked him, what is open source, what are you doing? And he said, I'm not interested in money, I'm interested to help other people that they can program their programs easier. And I'm writing a program which is called Boilerplate. And Elisabeth and me, we ask ourselves, what is Boilerplate? And we ask Max, please explain us Boilerplate. What is this? And he couldn't explain it to us because we never understood Boilerplate.
We basically don't understand until today.
And what he's talking about and what he's doing in the internet. His likes or his followers goes up from 100 to 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000, and he was looking on his phone and said, oh, 2,000, 3,000, oh, 4,000, and
it ended up with 10,000 that evening.
Yes, and he was out of our family and out of the group of his friends, and he was like, I'm famous because I'm famous.
I did not do that.
We were very impressed, Max, I tell you. Yes. This was really interesting to get likes from 100 to 10,000 in one day. This was really something.
And this was the key issue for him to quit the university and go on in open source.
Oh, but you were still unhappy about that.
We were still unhappy.
That's not what it was like back then.
No, that's true. I am still unhappy, Max.
But you told us half a year later, in his last program, Styled Components, you have 27,000 stars at GitHub, and that's a milestone, because for Austrians, that's not so easy to reach this, and to help so many companies and individuals to use this program to get better programs and easier, and that's, for me, fantastic. I never reached this level for myself, except I married you.
This is it.
And we get this kid.
Yes, this is the most important thing.
For the people that think their code isn't good enough, they probably haven't looked at mine, right? Literally nobody cares. It's about the solution you have to a certain problem. Most of the time, it doesn't matter whether your solution is the very best it can be, right? In the first versions, none of the solutions that I built, none of the open source projects that I made were the best solution. They were just an idea that I put out there to see if it resonated with people and to solve my own problem, like I said, so I would have the solution for the next time. Over time, they evolve, right? And over time, more people get involved and you have more input and you have more really just brain power working on these projects, and so they actually get much better. Every open source project gets much better 5 years down the line, but there's no point in comparing yourself to something that's been worked on by thousands of people for 5 years to your first version that does something very innovative and new. You're just trying out the idea and seeing what happens.
Thousands of developers find jobs across Europe using Honeypot. If you're up for a new challenge in one of these European cities, sign up at honeypot.io. If you want to see more tech documentaries, then subscribe so you don't miss the next one.